Hey, welcome. Welcome. Let me sit down here for a second. There you go. Welcome to Mogul Talk One-on-One. I'm your man, Kadon Sterling. And today we are going to talk about something very dear and clear to my heart, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to being a business owner, when it comes to being a USH, United States hustler, ownership and profits. I've said it before. What else is there? Ownership and profits. Stay right there. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining me. Let's get it. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Mogul Talk One-on-One. I want to tell y'all something. First of all, thank y'all. Thank y'all for subscribing to the channel. Thank y'all for telling everybody about the channel. Thank Allah for this great weather today. But thank y'all. All right, let me get myself straight here. Ownership and profits. Let's get to the business first, because I got a lot to say about it. The business is you can get your own ownership and profits, sweatshirts, t-shirts, hoodies, everything at Etsy.com. Okay? Search bar, Mogul Mindset. One word, put it all together. Mogul Mindset. One word, put it all together in the search bar on Etsy.com and get your very own ownership and profits t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts. Because like I've always said, you're seen before you heard, and that's being, really honest with you. So represent yourself accordingly. Represent yourself correctly. Let people know what you're about. And when you walk in and you have something on, it's automatically a conversation piece. Somebody's going to ask you what you're about. Perfect example. Before we get started with this episode, I went to the barbershop, and I had one of my sweatshirts on. I think I was wearing this in white or something. I'm not sure. And the bottom line is, when I walked in, immediately, the owner of the barbershop came up to me and said, "What's that about right there, man? What's that shirt about? I like that." Immediately, it drew a business owner to another business owner, and it gave us a bridge where we can walk across together and create a conversation. Because he didn't know what I was about, but he knew if I had this on, it must be something. He don't know what I do for a living, but he did know. That man right there just walked in with a sweatshirt that said ownership and profits. It must be something he's on that I need to know about, because this is what I'm on. This barbershop is what I'm on. So what's up? What do you do? Start the conversation. When you become a part of the conversation, therefore, and then how you can actually start building with somebody else to try to make something happen. All off of a conversation. All right? Let me adjust my camera here, because I want y'all to be able to get a good view of everything while I'm giving y'all this right now. So if it looks crazy, I apologize. I'm just trying to get right. Okay. Ownership and profits. Let's get right to it, man. Ownership. If you don't own anything, and I'm not talking about just real estate and things like that. When you own something, you also have the ability to control your future with that something. When you don't own anything, it's really hard for you to control your future, your destiny. Somebody else does. And that's the truth. But while we doing that, you know me very well. From Cars, Golf, and Cigars, we gonna get this right with a new cigar. This just came in from Cigar International, you feel me? Brazilian cream. So I'm finding out about this along with y'all. I might make this a cigar review, but I'm not. But we're gonna stay on topic. But let's spark this up. I'm not going to keep y'all too long, but I want to give y'all what I know, okay? When you own something, and more or less, this has not been pressed into our minds as young children the way a true educational system should. Because when you go through the educational system, it doesn't really press you to be an owner. It presses you to be a worker. Okay? Think about everything you've ever learned. Think about every job trade you ever had. Think about the classes you've taken. They've prepared you and pressed you to fill out applications. I did. I know. I spent 25 years working at a business, at a company for somebody else. So I know that for a fact. They press you to be an employee. They do not pressure you to be an employer. Now, when you go to certain educational establishments, and I'll mention like Harvard, Wharton Business School, those educational environments press you and design you to take over the world. They press you and design you to take over the world when you go to certain educational institutions. All of them don't. Why? Because you need employees, you need employers, you just stand the third. But the key to actually controlling your future is in ownership. It's not being an employee. It's being the employer, because the employer can decide what kind of future the employee will have at a drop of a dime. Like I said, I'm speaking from experience, okay? I worked totally 36 years of my life for a system. 25 years at one spot, damn near 10 years at another spot. For a system. Never was a owner of that, didn't have any stock advantages in it, didn't have any liquid involved, nothing. Just showing up every day to punch the clock to try to make some money. So once I became a little older and I started to educate myself financially, which I swear I wish I would have did when I was younger, but here we are. I started realizing that the only true way of being successful is to own something. You have to have your name on that piece of paper. Perfect example. And then I'm gonna give y'all some names and we're gonna talk about the profits. So I don't want to make this too long, but it's important. Perfect example. Let's go with somebody like Steve Harvey. Probably one of the hardest working men in the entertainment business. I don't know how many jobs Steve has. I don't know if Steve knows how many jobs Steve has, but there's a reason why his work ethic is the way it is. Big shout out to my man Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. That's actually a friend of mine and good dude, great comedian, great guy. All his people out in Texas, what's happening? All right, we got to play some golf, Junior, stop playing. But now, get back to the topic. I was listening to an interview that Steve Harvey did on Earn Your Leisure. Big shout out to the guys at Earn Your Leisure. And he was stating that all the years that him and Cedric the Entertainer did the Steve Harvey show on Pix, was it Channel 11, WPIX, whatever it is, whatever network owns it or what have you. He goes, they did that for so many years and it was a successful show. Was it one of the greatest shows? No. But was it successful to a certain point? Yeah, they did good ratings. You know, they had a good 2-3 seasons where they did good ratings. So good ratings mean what? Good ratings mean more money from advertisers so everybody can get paid at that network. Everybody can get paid at that network. But the actual principals involved, which is the actors, y'all still on the salary side of it, getting the least amount of the cut. And he said to this day, it's crazy how they can run that and run that and run that and run that, but he don't own it because they own the rights to use his name. So they can keep playing the Steve Harvey show. He may get some kind of residual from it. I don't know if they did 100 episodes or not, but he don't own that show. If he was going to bring that show back, he would have to go pay them to get permission to use his own name if he wanted to bring the show back. Ownership. Another example. Let's go further back to the icon herself of media, Miss Oprah Winfrey. All right, one of the top queens of fearless ambition mindset, mogul entrepreneur mindset. I wrote a blog because of her and Earl Graves Jr. and Barry Gordy, and that's when I named it Fearless Ambition, which became my company many years later. But one of the smartest things that Miss Winfrey did many years ago, when it was time for her to renew her contract, I believe with ABC, and I might be off a little bit. If I am, somebody correct me, was she took the money that she was making and she kept reinvesting it in herself, business-wise. And then she took the money that she was making and she bought the building, the studio building that ABC was actually using to shoot her show. She bought the building and everything in it, all the equipment, everything, the TV cameras, everything that came with that studio, she bought the studio. When it came to renegotiate her contract, she had all the cards. She had all the leverage. Because number one, she has the fan base. The fan base was Oprah Winfrey. The fan base wasn't ABC, okay? And now, if they didn't want to work with her and give her the money that she was wanting or demanding or negotiating, she can go to any other network because they would have took her. But most importantly, she owned the building where she can always keep recording. They couldn't shut her down. They had to become her business partner instead of her employer. Ownership. And that was a science. That was a brilliant chess move. If y'all don't want to give me the money I have now demanded because of my status and because of everything that I know and everything I've done and how I have 5, 7, 8, 10, 12 million women and some men watching her every single afternoon. She ran afternoon TV for damn near 15, 20 years, it seemed like. Well, then I'll just keep recording and I'll become a partner with another network. So now guess what you got to do? You can't just send me a check. We got to sit down together and talk to these advertisers, Nestle, Ford, the airlines, clothing companies. We got to talk to all these advertisers together as a team to see how much we gonna charge them. Not how much y'all gonna charge them and then pay me, how much we gonna charge them and I'm gonna pay myself. Ownership, because now I own my studio. I could change the thing on the studio to Harpo Studios backwards for Oprah, because I'm sure ABC has some rights to her name, Oprah Winfrey, and her image, but she did everything else to get ownership for herself. To be in media, you gotta have cameras, lights, action. I'm not gonna keep going to somebody who can shut me down and pull the plug on my cameras, my lights, and my action. My shit can keep going. Whether y'all want to work with me or not. Ownership. Earl Graves Jr., Black Enterprise Magazine. Some might say the original Forbes magazine. You know, since we wasn't getting put in Forbes back then, Mr. Earl Graves Jr. said there are so many entrepreneurs in the African American community, in the brown community, the Latino community. We need a place that we can be represented. And people can know that people should know that we're not just laborers. Some of us actually own the building. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all don't want to talk about it, my publication will. Ownership. Now, with all those things that happen, you know, we can keep going on and on and on with all the entrepreneurs. A lesson was taught to this generation's entrepreneurs. Perfect example for that, Mr. Tyler Perry. He learned a lot of things by trial and error and failures, and turned those failures into wins. Turn those losses into lessons, and turn your lessons into blessings. And he turned them into wins. One of the biggest chess moves I've seen him make. This Brazilian cream is not that bad. One of the biggest chess moves I've seen him make, and I think I'm not going to say he did get it from, but I would definitely say he definitely had mentors. And, he had a lot of mentors to come up that looked at him and was like, you're the next one. And we're going to show you the game. But it's simple, and it's not science. It's called ownership. That's the game. What's one thing he absolutely did? He put up his own money to make his own product. So when you put up your own money to make your own product, now you go into Hollywood and have these meetings with them as a business person, not just somebody that is talent, Now they got to talk to you differently. They don't want to talk to you differently. They want to talk to you like, this is how many screens we're going to give you when your movie come out. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. But this is what we're going to take from you. But when you own everything and you refuse to sign over your ownership to everything, they can't take from you. They have to listen to you, and they have to basically accept what you give them if you want to do business. If you know my product is hot and it's going to sell, why am I giving you 90% of it? Because you have more money than me? How will I ever have money that you got if I'm giving it away? So one of the smartest things he did, he said, I can create my own Hollywood in Atlanta, Georgia. Because if I don't need the studios and the MGMs and the Weinstein studios, if I don't need the Sony studios, if I don't need the DreamWorks, if I don't need all of y'all to actually make my product and it don't stop me, then why am I using y'all? Because I got to pay y'all to shoot at y'all studio. I will take the money that I've made and I will build it here in Atlanta, Georgia. Then he built his first studio. And what'd he do? People stuck together. The Oprah Winfreys of the world showed up to open up his studio. Because basically, when she got her own network, what was she looking for? She need product. She's not a filmmaker per se, okay? She need product. Tyler Perry got the work. He's the plug. You got a network, I got shows. I got a lot of shows. And I'm going to go to TBS and get some money from them. But whatever you want to do, I'm working with you too. And one of the greatest things Tyler Perry did when negotiating his deals was he made sure whoever gave him the deal that he wanted would have to agree to do 100 episodes. 100 episodes. Before it even aired, that agreement was in the ink. You know why? Because once you get 100 episodes, you are guaranteed residuals, profits. Because now you're guaranteed reruns. You have to have 100 episodes in a can for a network to actually consider keep doing reruns on you. You got to shoot at least. That's why all these old shows still come up. Because they shot over 100 episodes. Law and Order will never not be on TV. Law and Order probably has 1,000 episodes or more. They will never be off. Some Law and Order will be on somebody's channel every single day, Monday through Monday, somewhere in the world. Residuals, profits. They will never stop. And that's good for the people on Law and Order. You know what I'm saying? But Tyler Perry understood that. So what he did by doing that, and I hope y'all still with me, because I'm trying to just relight my cigar. What he did by doing that was this. He guaranteed his team that they will always get paid. He guaranteed them. He made them instant millionaires. Instant millionaires. You will never believe it, but they instant millionaires. Because they will always get paid. Because they agreed to shoot 100 episodes, nothing lower than that. And then he opened up now the big Tyler Perry studio. And he did it on the south side of Georgia, on the other side of the tracks, on the other side of the airport. He did it damn near in the hood. And he did it for a reason. The show, number one, I'm going to keep it honest with y'all. The show Hollywood, I can have me 20 buildings that I could shoot in And I can make the same money y'all making, and I ain't got to get on a plane to go nowhere near y'all. And I don't have to beg y'all for nothing because I'm self-sufficient, because I have ownership. And since I have ownership, it will always equal the profits. Whether y'all deal with me or y'all don't deal with me, I don't need a middleman no more. I don't. I'm a direct plug to the entertainment and to the fans that I provide entertainment for. Ownership and profits. I'm going to go over a couple of names with y'all because I wrote down some stuff. But I just want y'all to hear some of these names. And then after that, I'm going to go over some numbers. Okay? This is just a few of the billionaires, big-time billionaires of the world. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, Richard Branson, well, Steve Jobs is no longer here with us, stuff like that. Larry Ellison. One person that's not on this list, but he should be because he's the biggest. Bernard Arnault. I'm not saying it right, I know I'm not. The Frenchman. The billionaire Frenchman whose company is worth about $250 billion. Not 250 million, 250 billion. Okay? And if you don't know who he is, he's basically the guy who owns all of them fashion stuff that you go crazy for, that you feel like you have to buy because it's an essential for your Instagram life to have it. And everybody must see you in it. Okay? You know what I'm saying? It gives you status. He owns all of Louis Vuitton. He owns all of Hennessy products, as well as 70 other brands that I don't remember all off the top. But he owns over 70 fashion houses with different brands. Also, at least 5 to 10%, it could be 10% now, but I know he owns at least 5% of Gucci. Making his company probably the number one company in the world that's worth $250 billion. He's bigger than Elon Musk, okay? A lot bigger, okay? He's bigger than Warren Buffett, a lot bigger. You know what I'm saying? But I said these names to basically put it like this. You got somebody like him, 250 billion. Somebody like Elon Musk, I think now because of all the stuff he went through with Tesla, I think he's down to like, I say down, right? Down to like being worth 180 billion, something like that. You got the Warren Buffetts of the world, the iconic Warren Buffett of the world, the greatest investor mind that this world has ever seen financially, right? That's only roughly worth $110 billion. What's crazy is, right, the richest black person in the world is worth $14 billion. These people I just spoke about are worth hundreds of billions, hundreds of billions, hundreds of billions, not 1 billion, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 10. Basically meaning they can drop $10 million a day if they want to. It don't make a difference to them. $1 million a day to them means nothing. $1 million in profit a day is just covering their bills. So when you see the scale between $14 billion of the richest black person in the world and the scale of a Frenchman, of the Frenchman, that he's worth 250 billion. That's a big, big difference. Basically, the only reason why is I really feel in my heart is because we started so late as a culture. We have started so late as a culture. You know, people excited right now because they just announced that Jay-Z is worth another billion. So he's up to $2.5 billion that he's valued at. Not saying liquid 2.5 billion in the bank, but all of his assets together plus his cash. He's and salute to him because he earned every dollar, right? Oprah Winfrey right now is still considered the richest black woman in the world. I don't know if she's the richest woman in the world, but the richest black woman in the world, and she's worth about 3.5 billion. We have to get into the mindset of ownership and profits. And we have to do it now. This is what Mogul Talk is about. It's about sitting down with other people around you who share the same mindset with you that says we got to get money. But not just money because we want to spend it and we want to pop bottles. No, we have to own something. And owning something means you have to get money so you can buy it. Once you buy it and you own it, it's yours. Now you have to learn and educate yourself on how to build yourself in that industry so you can create profits from it. Even in the auto industry, they tell you the one that let's go to boats and yachts. They always say the greatest thing about having a yacht is the first day you buy it, and the second thing is the day you sell it. But you got to own it first so you can create a profit. I want y'all to really think about that. I don't care if it's a small level, big level, what have you. Ownership and profits mean you have to own things. You know, I just saw a gentleman on the gram who bought his son, who's 14 years old, 40 acres of land. Somewhere, I think they was in Arizona or Colorado or something like that. But the boy is 14. For his birthday, he bought him 40 acres of land, put it in his name. He's guaranteeing his son wealth from this point on. Because once you have that land, now you know how you got to know what to do with 40 acres. What are you going to build it on? I mean, what's going to be built on it, if anything? You're going to have to get some livestock, put some cows on there so you can get some taxes written off on the land. Getting the money is one thing. Learning how to protect it is another. That's going to be another episode. But today, I want everybody to think like a real mogul. Ownership and profits. That's what it's about, people. And the only way that starts is with hustle and the ambition to educate yourself to hustle. All right? My name is Kadon Sterling. Thank y'all so much for being here. Mogul Talk 101. Don't forget to check out my other channel, Cars, Golf, and Cigars, right here on YouTube. All right? Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all on the next one.